Oh boy, oh boy. That's right. We are entering into an era I never thought was going to happen, and that is the repopularization of Top Gun. And with that happening, I thought, well, it's the perfect time to talk about Top Gun, isn't it? Because this movie, honestly, has probably played a huge impact on just my viewing of film, just because it was always something that was playing in my house. I have family that loves this film to no end. This is a film, this is a story that has just permeated in my life, and I think it's very cool. I really do like Top Gun. Like this is one of those films where I think, well, not like, a masterpiece. It does everything it is trying to do perfectly. There is no flaws in here. There is nothing wrong with this film. It knows exactly what it's trying to be. It's trying to be playful. It's trying to be cool. It's putting a positive spin on, like naval flying. It's very fun. And I really like that about this film, but it's also a drama. And I think that's something people forget. They're like, oh, this is a high-strung action film. It's not. This is a drama about the top cadets going to Top Gun and suddenly building up their repertoire. It's basically like a school movie, like people in a school or an academy. It's just like that, and is it great? So we have not really talked about Tom Cruise on this channel before, or I've never really talked about him in any capacity. I will say this. He is a fascinating guy. And I think I want to talk about it more in depth in another video, but I just want to say, right here in this peak of the 80s is the most important era of Tom Cruise, because this is when you realize this guy he's going to do it. He's going to break the mold for everything. He will be instantly recognizable in everything, and I think Maverick made him the definition of a cool guy. Like this, he's done roles before this, of course, but this made him the star. This made him popular. This made him the cool, lovable guy that everyone looks at and smiles. Regardless of whatever weird stuff he's doing, this is what made him popular. And he is electric in this film. A young Tom Cruise can exude so much confidence, so much swagger in every single scene, and it looks great. And that's what I love about this story, because it's such a... This character could only be Tom Cruise kind of story, because Maverick is so arrogant and cocky. In every scene, he's going to do a flyby. He's going to fly overhead of the enemy, just barrel down and be like, dude, what's up? He is so good at it. No one plays it better than him. No one has played it better than him. He is just a movie star, the last of the movie stars. And it's very cool to see him in this. I love him in this. He's such a fascinating guy to watch, because he plays off everybody perfectly. The way he goes from hitting on Kelly, the way they just play off each other, the way he responds to authority when he finally learns his lesson. He is doing wonders in this film, and it is so electric to see that. And another thing I didn't really think about, when I watched this film, is just how they are flying. Because, yeah, I get it. We have, green screens now, so it doesn't make it look. But back in the day, you are really doing some good stuff here. And you really see, Tony Scott was like, no, this has to look like we're flying real planes, like we're flying real jets. And of course they are in some shots. They actually have, people on set that are going to these reserves. They're going on these ships and they're actually flying stuff. And they did that for the new one too. But it's that is just amazing, because it looks great when you have actual planes and actual jets and everything flying about and doing these great shots, and you're twisting the camera with it and you're just focusing on all these amazing things. It looks fantastic. It feels fantastic. There is really nothing else like it from this era, because it's just so quiet at times. And that's something I forgot when I watched it again. It's quiet. It can get quiet. We're just watching these jets fly through the sky. There's just people talking to each other in that classic filmy look, and I just adore it. It is just so cool, so powerful. I just love the cinematography. I love the scope of this thing. The synthesizer score, ooh, that's some 80s stuff that I just adore. It sounds great. We need to bring that back some more, just bring that back in. And of course, the iconic songs that are in this film. Danger Zone will be just a legendary song, always associated with this. Playing with the boys, you know it, that's great. Take my breath away, I love it. You've lost that love and feeling. That's great. We really don't make films like this anymore, do we? Just positive dudes where they learn a lesson, they get what they want in the end. We're not trying to build anything else. Everything is just this high sweeping romance about this authoritative woman who knows she shouldn't be with this student, eventually does. Nobody's under the age of what the consent should be, so it's all fine. It's just awesome. I love it's just so powerful and cool, and everything about this film is great. Every lesson is learned perfectly. Every character gets their payoff in some big ways. Sometimes it just fails completely. I love it. The other thing I really respect about this film is it does not shy away from being sexy AF, man. Every time there is a group of dudes who are just sitting around singing or laughing, they are sweaty and having a good time. They're in a locker room just taking their clothes off, just talking to each other. It's sexy. It's erotica. It's beautiful. There's a beautiful, it's like sex scene with, Kelly McGillis and Tom Cruise. It's looking steamy and beautiful. I adore it. It's like, yeah, it's just so fun. We get it. We're flying planes. We're having a good time. We're going to have a great time when we're making love. So let's show it. Let's make it happen, baby. Perfect. Nothing else is like this. It's just so cool. So fun. I adore it. And yes, we could literally probably talk endlessly about the volleyball scene because hell yeah, that's amazing. Could you imagine like a modern film taking the time to do that? You just don't do it anymore. It's amazing. Just like, let's take a couple minutes out of our story just to have our characters play volleyball, build up the tensions again between Iceman and Maverick. It is so cool. It is so great. And I love the foil of Iceman. Val Kilmer is an unsung actor of a generation. He knows how to put on a performance. He knows how to tell a great story. He is fantastic. I love him. I am so heartened by what has happened to him in recent times. He's great. And I love his character because he's not a villain per se. He's just more like, we are doing some really dangerous stuff and you are reckless and you are arrogant and I think you're going to get yourself hurt. And so maybe somebody else around you is going to get hurt. I love it. He's just such a great foil of that because everyone's just chewing gum, biting into food, just staring at each other intently. And he's not wrong. That's the thing. Iceman is not wrong. He's like, you are reckless. You are dangerous. Calm down, dude. This is not a joke. But it also should be fun. You don't do this unless you want to. And Maverick wants to do it because he likes it. Yes, there's a storyline of his father, and his father had stuff happen to him, and nobody will tell him what happened to it. I get that. And that's great character motivation, especially in this era where it always comes back to the father because, yeah, there's a bunch of father figures in this storyline. Pretty much every, older figure than Maverick is a father figure essentially to him, except for Kelly. It's just more like, yes, this colonel's going to be like, don't do this, like this is what happened to your father from what I know. It all works fine. And that just happens in this story. Like, the older generation is looking at this cocky kid, being like, you don't know real fighting. You're just a crazy son of a gun, not doing anything special. But he gets the win a couple times, which I really do like. So we've talked about Maverick. We have talked about Iceman. Let's talk about Goose. Anthony Edwards, a legendary actor. I adore him. I don't know how many of his films we're actually going to get to. This is great performance because this is the kind of thing that builds up to Maverick's story. And I know people who probably haven't seen the film are going to be shocked by events that happen to Goose. It's necessary for the story to get Maverick where he needs to be, but he is just a ball of energy. He is so happy in a way that Maverick isn't. He's not cocky. He knows he got here on his merits. He deserves to be here. He's not going to stop because, that's just what I do. I fly with Maverick. We're going to do this together no matter what happens. And I just love seeing that progression. He's so confident and fun. He's with Meg Ryan, who gets 2 scenes in this film, and she delivers a spectacular performance that you wouldn't expect from her. My goodness, is she just electric in this film? It's great. And as I said, everything with Goose is just so fun, confident. He's like, I don't want to get kicked out, Mav. We have to do this the right way. Eventually, towards the climax of the film, there is an accident on their plane. They have to eject. I guess the door doesn't slide up all the way. Goose gets killed, and it's tragic because I think that is one of the most unnecessary deaths in a story. And I know it is necessary for the actual progression of Maverick's character to realize you are holding on to ego, you are holding on to these possessions, you have to let go if you want to do this, right? It's just you could tell that story with Goose alive, but I get why you kill him. It is tragic and it takes a really serious turn. And I can completely understand. That guilt you are feeling, even though it is literally ruled like it is not your fault that happened. How can you let that go? You let him down. You saw his son, you saw his wife. How can you let that down? You can't. You can't. And like, as much fun as we are having so much fun. We're flying in the planes. We're doing flybys. People are spilling their coffee on themselves. As much fun as we're having. The film literally opens up with who is it Merlin? Or no, it's not Merlin. It's somebody, one of the other pilots who doesn't make it to Top Gun is literally just like frozen in fear after almost being targeted by an aircraft, and they cannot come back down to land. They are frozen in fear. I'm like, that is how you do it. We're having fun. Kenny Loggins is playing. We're all enjoying ourselves incredibly well. But suddenly, this is real. This is scary. Look what's happening. It's intense. We can't move. We are petrified. We have to snap back to reality. And when we do, we're done. We can't win anymore. We're quitting. I'm like, that's real. Because it's one thing to have fun and joke with your buddies, play volleyball all night long, sing you lost that love and feeling to a beautiful girl. When you're up there, it's terrifying. You could lose, you could die, everything can go wrong, and it might go wrong. It is insanely positive in that regard because it's just doing exactly what you'd expect. It is having fun, but showing you fear, and that's why it's a drama. That's why it's a drama. There's romance, there's intrigue, there's so many sad plots because Maverick is a very unhappy character, trying to be happy, trying to show he's not arrogant, but he is arrogant. He finally learns to let go of all that and do the right thing in the end. He doesn't say goodbye to his wingman. He helps them all out, and it's great. And of course, there's the iconic lines. There's the iconic songs. It is a fantastic film. Great characters, great romance, great love, great erotica. Everything about Top Gun is incredibly cool. And it should be. It looks awesome. It feels awesome. Nothing is like Top Gun. I don't know if we'll ever capture this magic again. I think we might with some stuff. But doing this way, it's so hard to do. It's so hard to do. And the fact that we can do it here and have it look good and literally have like aviators are back in the Rocket Boys. Everyone's joining the Navy. Everyone's having all this fun. It's awesome. It's cool. It's Top Gun. It's one of the best films of this genre. One of the best dramas I've seen in a while. And exactly the kind of film that gets me excited for its 35-year going on sequel. So that is going to do it for this rendition of Dramatic Tales. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And as always, I will catch you in the next one. Have fun. Stay safe. Stay safe. I said that already. Good luck.